good side.
Ryan, will you do that for me?
So this right here is, it's called the atomic bomb dome. That's what's kind of known as globally. The Japanese call it Gimbaku. And so it's located in Hiroshima, and then right next to it is a river that flows by it. So there's 7 rivers that flow through Hiroshima. And so in the summer, it's like really muggy. I was there in August. But so when I was there, the second to the last day that we were there, I went down to the Peace Park, which is where the dome is. So this is what it originally looked like. There's same building architect, I think he's Czech, did this one, and there's a building like that in Czechoslovakia. And this is afterwards. So here's the river that flows by it. But so we went down there to the Peace Park, and so I got down there early in the morning, walked around, and I was getting ready to leave. And then I sat on a bench to figure out my next plans. And then this gentleman rides up on his bike, and he looks at me. And I thought he wanted to say something to me, and so I told him in Japanese. He said something to me in Japanese, excuse me. And so I told him that I don't speak Japanese. In Japanese, that's the only phrase I know. And so then he said, "You have good tone," which means I guess I must have said it right. So we sat down on the bench and we started talking, and he broke out some photos, and he was telling me that he was a bomb survivor. And he was 10 years old when the bomb detonated. So this is his mother, this is himself, and his 2 sisters. One of his sisters was buried in a cemetery right behind the bomb dome. The other sister, what he said, he motioned like this. He closed his eyes and went like this. And so I think he was saying that she just kind of like was incinerated by the bomb. But within a week, he became an orphan. So his family is killed. So this is the end of the Second World War, so he kind of has to navigate post-war Japan on his own. So as we're talking, he spoke some English, and I had Google Translate and trying to figure things out. But it got to the point where he said that he had a friend who would be coming to the park in about 30 minutes, and his friend was a retired English teacher. And so this is his friend. I can't remember his name, but we spent about 2 hours in the Peace Park. And so he's telling me that he's a survivor because his mother was pregnant with him when the bomb detonated. So his family was out visiting her parents in the countryside. His father was a school teacher. He came back into the city, spent 2 days trying to find his students and couldn't find any of them. His mother came into the city to see what remained of their house, and that was about it. But his father died when he was 89 years old. His mother at the time was 103 and still lives with him. That's about it. But one of the things, the older gentleman's name is Mr. Ogara, and he fed these birds. And so he's telling me the story about feeding the birds, and I didn't quite understand it. And so I asked this gentleman later on, and what he said was that the devastation of Hiroshima was so complete that all people had to eat were whatever they could catch. A lot of them were these small birds, these sparrows. And so every day for the last 50 years, the older gentleman, Mr. Ogara, comes to the Peace Park, sits on the same bench, and he feeds the birds to thank them for saving his life.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. Appreciate it.
Yeah.